CFB Prime. I'm Nino Brown. Chip Kelly says no pressure for QB decision. 2024 five-star RB recruit Taylor Tatum says boom, soar. And SEC Media Day hot takes got a lot of shots fired on this episode of Blow the Damn Whistle.
Some of you in the room right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. Why? Because you never made a decision. Those of you in this room, you already there. Your problem is this is stuff you don't want to give up to go. Listen to me, pound for pound, any agent in the room, pound for pound, motivational speaker, pound for pound, entrepreneur, pound for pound, athlete, pound for pound, weightlifter, pound for pound, whatever you do, I guarantee you when you do it, nobody can do it like you do it. The problem is you don't hardly do it.
Welcome back to CFB Prime, Blow the Damn Whistle. I'm your host, Nino Brown. You know the deal. We're tackling, all the hot topics in college football. But real quick, before we get into it, I want to shout out my crew, my production crew, my partners, KT, Moon, Big Mikey. They're out there in Charlotte covering ACC kickoff. Shout out to you guys. All right, let's get into it. Let's start talking college football and things that are going. Chip Kelly says no pressure on the QB decision. Chip Kelly was recently asked at the 2023 Pac-12 Media Day if there's any pressure in regards to deciding on the QB for 2023. Our job has never been to keep people happy. I think the way you keep team happy is that you are fair with everyone, not just because someone came in with better accolades. Okay, Chip. Say it with your chest, brush your shoulders off. When 2023 five-star recruit Dante Moore flipped from Oregon to UCLA earlier this year, it was because he was going to a school with an opportunity to start now, knowing that he would be the first true freshman to start at UCLA since Josh Rosen. Now, granted, things didn't go right for Josh Rosen at the next level, but they went right to UCLA. Moore has the most upside of any QB in this room, but he lacks the collegiate experience. Now, they got another transfer. He transferred, he flipped. That was Dante Moore. But Colin Shea transferred from Kent State this season, thinking he was rolling into a starting role with a newly departed Cleveland Browns QB, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who went on to the NFL. Shea's coming off career highs in all passing categories, including 2,100 yards passing, 13 touchdowns. He also had almost 500 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. And he faced P5 competition last year on the road to boot: Oklahoma, Georgia, and Washington. He tallied 483 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Now, those numbers aren't good, but he's got the experience. He faced the big dogs. And then you got Ethan Gavers. He has the most Pac-12 experience, for whatever that means. It was a backup to DTR last season at the transfer from Washington the previous year. Now, Gavers played in 6 games of mop-up duty with less than 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. The concern for me, it's growing in my belly, I can feel it in my bones, and it's starting to make my skin itch, is that we've seen Chip Kelly make the wrong quarterback move before. This isn't something new. This isn't like, oh, what happened? He's done this multiple times, okay? In 2016, San Francisco 49ers, Chip Kelly went with Blaine Gabbert over Colin Kaepernick. And we all see what happened there. And then in 2015, before that, the Philadelphia Eagles, Chip Kelly traded away Nick Foles for Sam Bradford. And that was a Chip Kelly's experience. Started to spiral downhill after that. Sam Bradford got hurt. They started off terrible in the first 6 games. He came back, but nothing was ever better. And then in 2018, at UCLA, Chip Kelly decided to stop Wilton Speets over freshman Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Now, Speets went 2-5 in the first 7 games, 466 yards. He was 61.7% completion, 6 touchdowns, 6 picks. Mediocre at best, okay? But In the 8 games, let's just go through the comparison. Speed was 57%, DTR was 60. Okay. Yards per attempt, 6 for DTR. Speed, 2. They both did the same total touchdowns, 3 and 3. 1.6 average total interceptions. Speed had 2.7. It was bad. Okay. He made the wrong decision. He's done this multiple times. You do not want to make the wrong decision with a 5-star who came here expecting to play. So my question to the chat, to CFB Nation, to any college football fan out there is, can Chip Kelly play Joe Cool about his big decision for the future of UCLA, especially with the conference switch incoming? And what does it say about Dante Moore's progression if he isn't the day one starter? I guess only time will tell. Let's move on to the next topic here. 2024 5-star running back Taylor Tatum commits to Oklahoma, says Boomer Sooner. All right, 5'10", 205 pounds, from Longview High School in Texas. He's the RB1 in the 2024 class. All right, he's recruited heavily by OU alum DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray is that dude. Okay, you want to talk Oklahoma football running back? That's him. Okay, Tatum's got broad shoulders. He got quick feet out of the hole. But boom, right? I call him Puff the Magic Dragon because boom, you see him, boom, and that next making a cut, he broke away. All right, he's got patience. He has no problem letting his blockers and the play develop. Right, he can see. Oh, I'll just slow it down a little bit, let him hit the block, then cut back. All right, he can get low. He can shrink it like a cheap shirt in a dryer. All right, my man get low and pop out. All right, he's got open field speed. He got that pow. Try to take him on one-on-one. Probably going to get ran over. He's a good pass catcher. Right? 13 games last year, 206 attempts, 1,840 yards, 8.9 yards per attempt. He had 33 touchdowns. He also had 12 receptions for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. All right. He's got some Joe Mixon qualities. Mixon with, I know he's a Hall of Famer, Terrell Davis vibes. All right. Just the way he gets low into the pack and gets out, the way he runs in between the hash marks, the pop that he's got, right? He's not super flashy. He's not super twitchy, but he got a little bit of it. TD had a little bit of it. Joe Mixon had a lot of it. So I think it's a little bit of a combination of it. He loves to run over defenders. He's got good contact balance. My man's got great footwork. This is a huge home run for Brett Venables. Like, the whole recruiting class has just been stupid the last 2 years in a row. But huge get. That running back room is loaded. And I think that Tatum is going to push guys like Sawchuk to either step up or step out. So, once again, 5-star Taylor Tatum has committed to Oklahoma. I'll wrap up this episode, CFB Prime. We're going to be talking about the past, week. There was SEC Media Days, and 2 things stuck out to me. Okay, there's a lot of things I can really regurgitate what most people talk about, Saban and all that, but I'm going to talk about 2 separate things. Tennessee Vols head coach Josh Heupel says there's only one real UT and there is only one real shade of orange. Okay, Josh Heupel. Okay, we see you. You got up early. You put on your big boy pants and decided, I'm coming out to the SEC boxing ring acting like Deontay Wilder, and I'm throwing these big shots. All right, I know the bad blood has festered since 2000 when Heupel's faced Texas in the Red River rivalry for OU. And he went 17, 27, 63%, 275 yards, touchdown in 2000. Well, man's going to have to wait to 2025 when Nico is in charge of the Vols and leading them before they can face the Longhorns, okay? But damn, you got to love Heupel for legitimately taking all the heat and silencing all this talk of Joe Milton in the first round Joe Milton 100-mile-an-hour throws, Joe Milton in the 90-yard golf cart throws, and literally saying, if one man's going to be taking all the heat for this team right now, it's going to be me. And we all know that Josh Heupel will take the Tennessee Pantone 151 versus the Burnt Orange of Texas 6 days a week and twice on Saturday. All right. Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian has a target on him already, and Josh Heupel is getting in early reps, and jabs. Now, another thing at the SEC Media Day that most people may not have heard because, Lane Train was talking about Saban and Finn Balmer, and we'll touch on that a little bit. But he also addressed that he got a little bit of a quarterback battle going on right now because apparently the room is healthy. All right. Lane Kiffin, QB main event, the Oxford Octagon, Dot versus Sanders is coming to you very soon with Walker Howard acting like John Jones. I'm next. Okay. Lane Kiffin addressed the QB room after he threw shade at Paul Finnenbaum for always poking the Nick Saban bear. If he doesn't make the playoffs, then he isn't a good coach anymore. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for pissing him off again. You're always wrong about this, and you get him all worked up, and then we got to deal with him. Gotta love Lane Train, okay? And then he threw a subtle jab, right, at former Ole Miss Rebels QB Matt Corral when he said, "This is the best QB room I've seen since I've been here." Well, okay, Lane, you were ready. The hair was messy, and you were out there throwing shots, and we love to see that at SEC Media Day, okay? But Dodd has never lived up to the hype, okay? Since the USC transfer, last year 13 games, 226 completions out of 362 attempts. He was 62% completed, 2,974 yards, 20 touchdowns, 11 picks. He did average 8.2 yards per attempt, which ain't bad. He had 674 yards on the ground and a touchdown. I mean, that was effective on the ground. Everyone at Oxford was. I mean, the third string running back probably ripped off 400 yards last year, and he was hurt. But the QB Ultimate Warrior who loves the face paint never seemed to take that next step for me last season, okay? Hence, why Lane Train, Mr. Kiffin, hit the portal, brought in the rookie and the vet, all right? You can say what you want about Jackson Dott, but the signs are there. He went out and got a young kid for the future, and he went out and got, a senior kid to come in and push the pile who's probably just as good. Some say maybe better. I might be on that train. We'll see what happens, okay? How is the future of Ole Miss? We get that, all right? And he's there to keep the fire hot, okay? He's a top QB in the 2020 class. He's got the skills to be a top college football quarterback. So he's there for the future. But the veteran, Spencer Sanders, transfers in from Oklahoma State, where he went 212 completions out of 368 attempts, 57.6% completion, 2,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. He had almost 400 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns. He only did in 10 games because he was injured, okay? But the previous season, right, in 2021, he led the Cowboys to a Big 12 championship game. He threw for somewhat numbers that remind me of what Dot threw this year in 13 games. 62%, 28-39. Dot had 29, 74, 20 touchdowns. Dot had 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. Dot had 11. He rushed for 668 yards, 6 touchdowns, 674 yards, 1 touchdown. Similar numbers to Jackson Dott this year, okay, with more experience. The offensive return in three O-line starters, and they have a very, very dangerous running back room. But Spencer Sanders has more experience. Spencer Sanders has similar numbers. Spencer Sanders is probably in a better lineup, and Spencer Sanders is now healthy. Lane Train said he's 100%. He was not 100% spring. Okay, so while Lane Train channels is in a Dana White for this Oxford Octagon or not, there's no denying that there's a QB battle, and it just got spicy. They have the weapons. Trey Harris, Sakari Franklin came in. They're huge weapons in the transfer portal they brought in. They brought in a 2023 recruit and Aiden Williams, who just looks to fill that role of Elijah Moore, A.J. Brown, wide receiver trajectory. And they have 2 big tight ends with a loaded running back room. There is no reason why the winner that emerges from this octagon, this Oxford Octagon, can't take Ole Miss to an SEC, push them to an SEC championship, or push them, I should say, in the right direction to take the step to be a contender in the SEC once again. I'm Nino Brown. This is CFB Prime on CFB Nation, brought to you by the T2T Network.